Hey folks, Ruben Runs here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that may seem counterintuitive at first, but I promise, if you stick around till the end of the video, you'll understand why the tortoise in the hare might have had it right all along. Let's dive in. When it comes to running, we hear a lot about speed work. You know, those tempo runs, the threshold runs, and really pushing ourselves to our limits. But today, I want to shift the focus to an overlooked yet crucial aspect of running, and that's the art of running slow. First up, let's talk about building a solid aerobic base. I like to picture this as the same idea as building a house. Now, in order to build a house, the first thing that you have to do is lay a solid foundation. And once that foundation is laid, you can start stacking those bricks to build the house. But if you don't have a solid foundation, you don't have a house. And it's the same thing with running. So building that aerobic base really starts with running slow. When we run at slower paces, we really allow our bodies to tap into that aerobic energy system, which helps us to build endurance and stamina over time, and ultimately allows us to maintain a strong and efficient running journey over the years. Now let's talk about injury prevention, the worst fear of any runner or any athlete for that matter. Running at slower paces really allows our muscles, our joints, and all those connective tissues to gradually adapt to the added stressors that you're putting on them, which ultimately is going to reduce your risk of injury. The goal here is to give your body the time that it needs to build the strength and become more resilient to the training stressors that you're going to be putting on it. Next, let's talk about mental toughness, because running isn't just a physical sport, it's mental too. Learning to embrace the slow run is going to help you build your mental toughness, your discipline, and it's going to help you to develop a deeper understanding of what your body is truly capable of. So when you do hit the pain cave on race day, you've already been there and you understand that you're capable of pushing through that pain. And remember, it's not about how fast you can go. It's truly about how long can you sustain those efforts over the course of your long run and ultimately on race day. Running slower also provides you an opportunity to focus on your running form. Now, if you've done any speed work, you know that the first thing that starts to break down when you get tired is your running form. And that really ties nicely into the concept of slowing down on those slow days. Because when you're not pushing yourself to the limits, you can really focus on that running form and your breathing and learn how to dial those things in. So when you do get to the point where you're ready to start picking up the pace, you're already locked in and you know what it feels like to run with proper form. Lastly, I want to talk about phasing in your training block. Now, I plan to make a whole YouTube video on how to properly structure a marathon training block based on my personal experience. But as a quick summary, your training plan should be a building block approach that starts with an early phase of aerobic base building, which is really those slower runs. And once you've established that solid base, you can make the shift into doing some speed work. As an example, if you're doing a 16-week beginner marathon training block, the first half to 2/3 of that training plan are going to primarily be focused on building your aerobic base. And once that solid aerobic base is built and the last third of that training plan, you make the shift to speed work, you have a solid foundation and the conditions are set for you to reach that peak performance towards the end of your training block. Ultimately, the goal here is to strategically plan your training block so that you can reach your full potential over the course of the entire 16 weeks and you're not peaking too early. So there you have it, folks. The importance of learning to run slow to ultimately run fast. And remember, it's not about avoiding speed, it's about understanding that in order to get to those faster workouts, you have to build that solid aerobic base on the front end of your training so that you're prepared to hit those speed workouts and not injure yourself. So keep the easy runs easy, and remember, the tortoise would win 10 times out of 10 because he's focused on building that solid aerobic base. As always, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to get more running shower thoughts from me. And let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on the slow and steady approach to running. Until next time, keep pounding the pavement.